Hey, welcome back, fellas. As promised, I've got two more gentlemen coming up today that's going to be giving you some professional tips. These guys put up big numbers and do very well within the trapping community. I know they're guys that I look up to, and they're guys that are very ethical and they go about things the right way, as do all the guys that you're going to see on these videos. Let me just introduce to you the next two guys. It's going to be Nick Biggs from Biggs Time Trapping, and then you're going to have Todd Strohecker from TS Trap Lines. So just a little bit about Nick. He has an ADC business. He is on the Facebook group page from the West Virginia Facebook group page for trapping, and he puts on a trapper training event that I believe him and his wife they put it up, and they do everything and help out kids, and I believe they even give away startup packages for certain individuals. He holds that every year. I don't believe there's any monetary commitment that you have to give. I believe it's just a free event. Donations are probably welcome, but that would be something that you could reach out to him and discuss that with him. And then Todd Strohecker, he has the TS Trap Lines, where he makes phenomenal lures from my understanding. I have never used this stuff. I just typically use the bait and urine, but everyone that I've talked to said that he makes a very top quality lure, and you can get merchandise from him as well from TS Trap Lines. They both have YouTube channels. Nick Biggs is the Biggs Time Trapping, and then Todd Strohecker's is just his name. But he does a lot of instructional. They both do a lot of instructional videos, and just really kind of give back to the community. They're really good educational videos that you can watch for free. So instead of skimming around for a good channel to watch, those are two that I would recommend fully. Now, you're going to pick up some gems from these guys, so just stay tuned and enjoy, fellas.
All right, guys, right here on the line, checking sets. Just want to take an opportunity between the sets to speak just for a minute about upping your numbers. I see all the time about guys, you always want more, and I get it. So to the guys out there just starting, my suggestion would be figure the whole trap bedding thing out. A lot of guys say they have it and they really don't. My best advice would be dig your hole smaller than you need. Fit your trap in there, and that way you'll make sure it's solid. I know lots of guys think they have it, and then I spend time with them and I see that they actually don't. So get those traps bedded solid. I would also say work on your locations. A lot of times I spend time with guys and I see that they just don't know about proper location. Depending on where you're at in the country, all that's going to change, but if you can't find locations, you need to spend time with some trappers that can. For you middle of the road guys, the biggest thing I would think would be, bait and lure usage, in terms of not how much, because we talk about that all the time. It would be what that bait and lure is geared to do. I see guys struggle all the time with, well, I'm just throwing this in this hole, or I'm just putting this on this rock. You got to take the time to know, once that manufacturer makes that bait or lure, what it's supposed to do for the animal. And then the other thing would be, the time of the year. Things change, so you've got to be able to adapt when the seasons change in order to up your numbers. And last, for those advanced guys that really want to up their numbers, obviously you have things figured out. The one thing I would say to you is you gotta plan your properties and your route in a timely manner, so it actually makes sense as you go from one property to the next. And then keep it simple. I know that sounds funny, but keep it simple in terms of a basic dirt hole, some type of flat set, and roll with it. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys. I hope you're having a good season. If we can help you, just let us know. Catch you somewhere else down the line.
Okay, I want to take a minute here, or two or three, and just give you a little bit of my idea on, theories of what I think some of the reasons for why successful trappers are successful. And when I was asked to do this, I at first I didn't know if I just wanted to do a little tip or, something like that, but I thought, just overall mindset, it would be a little bit better thing to talk about. And I guess if there's one attribute that I find in most successful trappers, and people who are successful at life, more or less too, but is they pay attention to detail, to the things that they can control, and they don't dwell on the things they can't. And sometimes the latter is really hard to do. You just get a big line put out, and a hurricane or a huge snowstorm or bad weather's coming, and it can really bum you out. And I fall into that trap too. But like I said, the really successful guys, they don't sweat that stuff. They got their plan and they stick to it. As far as paying attention to the things you can control, for me, one thing is preseason work. I like to get out in the field, get my stakes in the ground, get my holes in the ground before the season opens. That type of work is your more physical work than more or less just going out and setting traps and luring or baiting a hole. Get that harder physical work out of the way, because you're going to need it when the season comes, especially at night in the fur shed, putting up fur. So location preparation is a big part of something that I can control. The other thing is equipment. I don't know of a single successful trapper that does not have his equipment, organized and ready to go. That there's no messing around, no time wasted. Everything is ready and in boxes, and it's just not even a factor because it's taken care of before the season ever opens. So organization of equipment, traps and all your equipment, I think is important. What goes along with equipment too is your vehicle. Make sure your vehicle's maintained, good tires on it. There's nothing worse than your vehicle have to go into the shop right in the middle of the season when you have a pile of traps out. And I live my life, kind of somewhat around trapping. My wife's vehicle is a 4-wheel drive SUV that I can use in the trap line if my primary trapping truck needs to go into the shop. So, another thing is I have ATVs and a trailer. If a situation would arise where I cannot drive to my sets, I have that option as well. Permissions is another, big thing. Always have more than you need. Get a lot of permissions and maintain those permissions. I mean, that's important for any trapper that wants to catch big numbers. And one last thing, as I'm saying about, control or take care of the things you can control, is your personal and life responsibilities, family responsibilities. Get that stuff taken care of before the season. Don't push something off and then something breaks or you have some issue when the season's here. Think about these things ahead of time and take care of them, so that when day one opens, trapping season opens, the only thing you got to do and think about is trapping. Till next time, have a good one.
Man, 2 great videos. I can't thank these guys enough. That was just awesome for them to come on and do that and to give back to the community and to just give some advice. And as you can see from like the past 4 guys that have talked, it's pretty much everything is, it's kind of repetitive stuff. So it's not like you're finding a mythical way of doing things out here. It's just a lot of hard work, a lot of repetition, and a lot of trial and error. So listen to these guys, and in a few days I'm going to drop another video that's going to have two more trappers on it, and these guys are high numbers. These next guys are real high number trappers, and you'll get a lot out of them as well. Look forward to presenting that video, and hopefully it does someone some good, or maybe it triggers some insight or some way of thinking for you. So, well guys, that's enough talking for me. But if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and then maybe ask some questions down below. And as always, more details on these gentlemen will be down in the description, and I'll have links to all of their stuff. So, just go down the description and then follow along. Take it easy, fellas.